Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching The Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
Welcome back, Steve.
Thank you. Sitting on the desk, and no, not you, Joe, is Emma Lily.
Sitting on Bubba's lap.
And the comedian at the end of the stage here is Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
And I am back, and I'm proud to be back. I kind of overate last week, and ended up going. I tried out their Overeating Anonymous class.
That's where you were. That's why I announced.
And yes, and
you called halfway during the show looking for takeout.
I didn't know they were gonna do weigh-ins, and the following week I went in. They weighed me in on the first class. I was supposed to go to a strict diet and lose some weight. I ended up gaining weight, so I got in trouble. And I'm afraid to go back there, so that's why I'm here tonight, because I was afraid to go back to that class. But that's normal, right? You guys understand, you agree that I did the right thing by not going back to the Overeating Anonymous class? No comment? Okay. Well, anyways, folks, welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm happy to be back, and we got a few things to mention, wrestling stuff, but before we get to that, Joey has a list of, do you have a list of deaths this week or no?
Yeah, I only have at least only one.
Okay, Joe will announce a death of a celebrity, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Actress Louise Fletcher.
What was she in?
Nurse Cratchit.
Okay.
Does that tell you who? To help you a little bit, who Nurse Cratchit was?
Who?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, I heard of that show. Okay.
I hope it's one of the best movies that Jack Nicholson ever did. Academy Award winning, I believe. Was it the best movie that year? I believe it was.
In fact, I just saw a video on YouTube on her where she won for Best Actress, I think, for that movie.
Nurse Cratchit, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. Here's the trivia question I'm going to ask you, and think about it for a bit. I'll ask you back later if I remember to. What were the Chief's first words?
I don't know. I have never seen the movie.
Juicy fruit. It's the first thing he said. Took him 2/3 of the movie to even speak.
Bubblegum.
No, that's what he said. Juicy fruit.
That's a type of bubblegum.
Yes, it is. Rocket scientist, so am I right? Did you have to ask? How did Lily give you the answer if she doesn't talk to you?
Oh, yeah.
Poor Emma Lily over here, looking for gum herself.
Okay, Joe, you mentioned
celebrity birthdays. Mention one of the celebrity birthdays. I just mentioned one. 93 years young, Barbara Walters on the 25th.
She's from 60 Minutes.
She's from 60 Minutes.
No.
View.
No?
2020.
2020.
I apologize. Ain't she one of the anchor woman for 60 Minutes?
She was at one time.
And she used to do, she was also a former panelist. Yeah, The View, yeah.
Well, she's still executive producer of The View. So. 93 years old. I mean, love or hate the woman. She's an American icon. Another one, news media icon. No. Happy birthday, Barbara Walters. I don't think she watches our show, but you never know.
I hope she makes it to 100.
My cousin just turned 62 this past week.
Oh, happy birthday to him.
Lois, my female cousin.
Okay, or her. I apologize.
Damn.
Happy birthday to her.
Wait till I tell Lois what you said.
No, I didn't mean that. No, I jumped to a conclusion. I thought cousins were she. That's my fault. I apologize to her, and I apologize to all you female cousins out there. I mean, not necessarily all your female cousins, but all the females out there who are cousins. I jumped the gun and assumed it was
Intimidated went home last week, you know. He gave me some strict instructions.
Oh, yeah.
The Intimidator. Remember he was on the
Oh.
show last week when you weren't
Yeah,
here?
I watched the episode. You know, I got a job for him. He could be a pizza delivery man. That bat he had reminded me of a 29-inch sub. And I got hungry when I watched that episode. And I pictured him holding a submarine
Look awful
sandwich.
funny with a bat sticking out of your head here.
And he'll be like, "Here you go, Steve. Delivered straight to you." He loves driving. You can get a, pizza delivery job.
Drive your head into the left field. It's okay.
But I was
Your business.
picturing
Home run, no, that.
him wearing a cap that says pizza or a submarine, and him holding a submarine sandwich, handing it over to me. Here you go, Steve. I'm sorry, I was
I see
thinking.
a home run going over the big green monster.
Comment there. Keep inserting your foot in your mouth.
I haven't seen him in ages. How's he doing?
Who?
They're in Terminator.
Don't know him.
Oh, yeah.
Of course I know him. And you're in serious trouble.
Last time I asked him for his phone number, he told me to get lost. And I told him I'm already lost. So that didn't improve anything.
Call my cousin.
I'm already lost. I apologize to your cousin on her.
I'm male.
I didn't know. I jumped the gun and it's my bad.
I'll tell the Lieutenant Colonel what you said about her
Uh-oh.
when I speak to her. Okay, he's not close.
Put in my mouth.
Slap you
Later on,
around.
I'm going to put food in my mouth.
Here we go.
Well, you won't be able to.
Help me, Joe.
I'm not getting involved.
Friends help one another.
I'm not getting involved.
Well, I see
I'm
how
not getting
it
involved
is.
when people open their mouth
We
and
find
insert
out
their
who
foot.
our real friends are. Okay,
The only friend you're of is with the Noid.
I'm lost.
It's a character from Domino's Pizza.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know
Now
who
I'm
the Noid
hungry.
was?
No.
Now you're hungry. You've been hungry since I've known you.
Yeah, true. Good point. Sound like a broken record, I know.
Talks about
My
starts to
favorite
show
two
off
words.
talking about food.
My favorite 2 words.
Talk about a baseball
hungry.
bat being food.
Yes, I was picturing a baseball bat as a submarine sandwich. Okay, Joey, you have any, Bubba mentioned a couple birthdays. Do you have any other birthdays to mention or no?
There would have been one of a former Superman birthday came up, Christopher Reeve.
Reeves, yes. and
Oh, okay.
Matt Hardy was a few days ago, too. I read that online. Again, I mention this every show, and I'll keep saying it. WrestlingForum.com. Vic Salagosta, my good friend, puts out wrestling birthdays and interesting information on wrestling every day. And he mentions a lot of birthdays and puts pictures behind them. He was just in town, actually, last week. My good friend Vic. He went home.
Awesome.
Went for the IFC, which is the Killer Kowalski Hall of Fame.
Okay.
He goes through every year. Hopefully we'll see him next year. I'm going to try to see if I can corral him next year when he comes to town. Maybe to come on our show if he's here.
I wish I got the opportunity to see Walter or Killer Kowalski. His real name is Walter.
I have several
In
times.
person and meet him because he's a legend
him.
around here, and he's also one of the. Well, he was a wrestling trainer, and some of the people he trained made it big and made it to the WWE. Triple H.
Guys in charge
China.
right now.
Them two were
Keep
trained
going.
by
Local, Bo Douglas.
Walter. Yeah.
A guy who I just met was partially trained by him before he was trained out in Michigan. Rhino
Oh, no
was
kidding.
partially trained by Killer Kowalski when he was living around. Yeah, they went to the Midwest and got trained there. We can keep going, but not from Walter on Killer. I know Joey has a list for our upcoming pay-per-view, Extreme Rules.
That's-
Which I'm gonna ask for a match. By the way, I'm gonna see if I can pull some of my string, but maybe Al Snow or some of my connections, and see if I can get you and Intimidator into a match, so I could take over the show and Emily can become the co-host, permanent. We can get you to Overeaters Anonymous, and Intimidator can use that casket he's been making for you. Tell me all about it.
He's been making one for me for years now.
He has to keep making it bigger and bigger.
I see. Well, with the prices
Just as big
and
as Yokozuna's?
also limited
Just as big as
equipment.
Yokozuna's?
Don't know.
You don't know Yokozuna? Part of the Anawai family?
Never met him.
Now, that's a Saturday pay-per-view, Joe, that you're going to mention matches for, right?
Yes.
Crown Jewels?
No.
Crown Jewels in November.
Extreme Rules is
Extreme
coming
Rules.
up next.
Okay.
Yes.
We got
And we can give our picks because Joe's going with the favorite.
SmackDown Women's Title, which became an Extreme Rules match. Liv Morgan against Ronda Rousey.
No, what type of match? Extreme Rules, that's no disqualification, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with Liv Morgan.
I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I don't know how, but she's going to beat Ronda Rousey.
I meant that 3.
Well, that's
Well,
obvious.
that's, yeah, like what you said, Bubba.
No, this one is an unusual match. I've never heard this kind of match before. A fight pit match.
Yes.
Riddle against Seth Rollins.
I'm going to go first this time.
Okay.
I think somehow Rollins is going to beat Riddle at his own match.
I'm gonna go with Riddle because he has a background in Ultimate Fighting.
And you know he's picking Riddle. Next.
Raw Women's Title, which is a ladder match. Bianca Belair against Bayley.
Can I go first? I'm gonna go with Bailey on this.
I'm agreeing with you. I think Bayley takes the title off of Bianca. Bayley's getting a small push right now. I could see her getting into a feud with maybe a couple other people because they're coming around, coming back. We haven't really had the draft yet, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ronda come to Raw and go after Bayley afterwards. That's my opinion on that one. And Joe, we know we're going with Bianca. Next.
A strap match between Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross.
I think Drew McIntyre is going to destroy Karrion Kross. Going to hurt the man outright. He wants to try to burn his face off and hit him with a strap and have his wife fight his battles. You're messing with the wrong Scotsman there, Karrion. You're a great athlete. You're a good wrestler. You're messing with the wrong guy. The toughest guy right now, I think, in WWE is Drew McIntyre. Bar none.
This one's a hard pick for me. I'm gonna go with the guy I want to win, and that's Drew McIntyre.
I agree with that one.
That's a shock, isn't it?
And the last one I have here is an I Quit match between Edge, I believe it's Balor.
Yes.
I can't picture Edge quitting,
Neither can I.
so I'm gonna go with Edge on this match.
I'm going with Edge for that same reason, because I don't think Edge will quit. I think you'll have to half kill him before he'll quit. And he won't quit. He'll pass
I
out
think
first.
if he ended up losing the match, I think he'll be pass out, like what you said, Bubba.
I hope, hopefully, his wife, Beth Phoenix, is there, and so Rhea Ripley doesn't pull some of her chicanery.
What about the other two?
Oh, Zipper and Head there. The other idiots had Damian Priest and
Ray's son.
Crybaby Dominic.
I couldn't believe Joey could verify it. I called Joey up a few times on the phone when Dominic was pulling the stuff that he'd been pulling against his dad, Rey Mysterio. And Joey could verify, right, Joe? I called you up. In between sandwiches, I called Joey up and complained. And
Emily wants to verify too, because
I feel
she'll
bad.
only talk to Joe. So
I feel bad for Rey Mysterio, his son. I mean, what his son been doing to him, I find disrespectful and sad. Both emotions, I feel towards Dominic. But one match I would like to see, if it will happen, Dominic against Rey Mysterio in a match.
Ray says he wouldn't fight him.
No.
Ray says he won't fight him. He can't wrestle his own son. He says he will not do it.
I know Vince McMahon would. wrestled Shane. But Rey
McMahon wrestled
Mysterio-
Stephanie, so
True,
wrestled
good point.
Shane.
Good point. Now, one comment I want to make, it's regards to WWE. I think WWE been doing really good recently. Well, let me rephrase that. I think WWE is doing better these last few weeks compared to recently. I think Triple H is doing an excellent job being in creative control. And getting some of these wrestlers back and also some new wrestlers, I think is excellent. Now, one storyline that I've been following, which I find interesting, is Dexter Lumis stalking The Miz. And this past Monday night, Dexter dressed up as a hockey player.
Yep.
And he ended up taking out the security that The Miz personally got. And he said he didn't get the biggest security, but he got the smartest security. So
Yeah,
that means
right.
The smartest security that The Miz could find got outsmarted by Dexter.
The Geek Squad, as I called them.
Or you could call them, what was that fraction? Spirit Squad.
Thinking the same thing, but Bird Squad was tougher than them. I've met Mike Mongo.
Have you?
Mike Mondo. I've met, who was the other kid who was involved with that? The guy who was in charge of him. Joey might be able to help
Kenny
me.
Dykstra?
I've met Kenny Dykstra.
We already know one of them is
I
already.
met Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph wrestled under a different name when he was part of that fraction.
He was Dolphy.
Dolphy?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was Dolph, but he had black hair.
No, Nikki.
Mickey.
Oh, he was Nicky, right? They
He
used
was
his
part
real
of his
name.
real name.
Yes.
I forgot who the other one was. Speaking of Triple H, you're going to see him and his buddies reuniting in 2 weeks.
Who, Dolph?
No, Triple H and DX.
Oh,
DX.
yeah, they're going to reunite. Now, that's just for one episode, or is
I
that
assume
gonna
so,
be-
yeah, to celebrate the
Okay.
25th anniversary.
Sean
be
Waltman, I think, will be
interesting to
there.
see who they
And
bring.
Road Dogg, and I know Billy Gunn works for AEW, so he won't be there.
China passed away. Rick Rude passed away. Mike Tyson was an honorable member of DX. I would like to see DX once again. I wouldn't mind seeing them make appearances like almost on a weekly basis, but I don't think that's going to happen because
Triple H is too busy to do that.
he's busy, and also Shawn Michaels is one of the trainers for NXT. So I don't think they'll.
Kind of in the record like the general manager over there, so.
Yeah, I wonder if he is doing the creative, Shawn Michaels,
Yes,
for
he
NXT.
is.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he stripped one of the guys from the
Sam
NXT North American champion.
Solo Sakai he lost his North American Championship because he wasn't scheduled to be in the match.
Jay and Jimmy Uso's brother.
Yes, younger brother. And they're having a tournament right now to determine the new. There's going to be a ladder match.
Okay.
Coming up with Halloween Havoc. I watched that show on Tuesday evenings.
I caught a little bit this past Tuesday. They got a pay-per-view coming up.
I just said it.
Halloween Havoc. Now, Halloween Havoc used to be, which I noticed.
Is there a reason why you have candy corn in your left ear a lot?
I must have missed that.
Halloween Havoc.
Candy corn. I know what I'm snacking on later. Anyways, what I was going to mention, Halloween Havoc is a former WCW pay-per-view, and NXT as of late been using former WCW and NWA pay-per-views.
Yes, why not?
Names as the names. Vince McMahon ended up buying the copyright to those back in I think late '90s, early 2000s.
Yep, 890.
So I'm in a way, I'm glad
87, I
that
think?
they're bringing back those names of pay-per-views and keeping it, alive. Those pay-per-views. Joey, I think Joey's gonna say what I'm thinking he's gonna say. Go ahead, Joe.
Speaking of the WCW, the pay-per-view title is part of the Survivor Series title of the War Games. Survivor Series War Games.
Now I forgot how War Games was set up. Was it the 2 rings pay-per-view?
And a 5-on-5 usually in a cage.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like a Hell in a Cell type cage.
Yeah.
But 2 rings, 5-on-5. NXT has used it in the past too.
Okay.
So, seen some great War Games matches.
All right, one thing I want you to mention, I don't know, I think you do have some independent wrestling news. If you don't mind, could you share some with us, upcoming shows?
I went to go see a couple shows this past weekend. I'd like to congratulate, I got up by Shady Means, pun intended. Shady Shay Cash is a new RWA champion. I went to World Wrestling Extreme Saturday night. Had the pleasure of speaking to, again, for the 4th or 5th time, Rhino, which I have a picture with. I'll show you after. It's on my phone. And seeing Rhino perform, I want to congratulate Kohagas, a Japanese warrior, becoming the new World Wrestling Extreme champion, and the Mighty Bosch and his partner becoming the new tag team champion. You see me wear the Mighty Bosch and Sid Morgan shirts here. I got another one from them. He's a great wrestler, great kid. Kohagas actually looks really good, and since last time we've seen Kohagas wrestle before, I believe, up there. He's dropped about 25 to 30 pounds since last time we've seen him. He's in phenomenal shape right now. Absolutely phenomenal wrestling shape right now. Looked really good the other night, beating the magnificent Marcos. I believe it's on October 2nd at the Poor Farm Tavern. Pro Wrestling's gonna be there. Teddy Goods is, as we saw on SmackDown's new promotion, is going to have matches at the Poor Farm Tavern. That's October 2nd. I mentioned before, the same day as my grandpa's birthday. I believe it's October the 12th, which is the following Saturday. Oh, that's a Sunday show, by the way, too. October 12th, NRG, Ring Gladiators, who also have a new champion. Mike Montero has won their title. Down there is going to be having a match. He's bringing in a couple of good stars for that show. I'm now being commissioned by returning to this area after a long absence. Vernon Samosa, I guess, is their new commissioner. Now, you would know Vernon Samosa from
Lucky Pro?
No, not from Lucky Pro. He actually worked years ago, he worked for PWC, and he worked for NECW for a while. But I'm talking over 10, 12, 15 years ago. He's back in the area. So I might be going down to check out that show. Davey Boy Cash promotes that with a member of the Hoods. They actually have a title match that night themselves. Go on independentwrestling.com. Go on to the local scene. If you go on and NCCW, you'll see it. You can usually toggle. They usually reference you to other sites. I belong to several wrestling sites, and I get my information. I paid $20 for a seat for NCCW and got to see Rhino. Now the Man Beast, the ECW original, the ECW last champion, wrestle in person. I know next show he's going to be, I think is October, might be October 12th as well, over in Bridgewater. He's going to have Bushwhacker Luke there, and he's going to have, I'm going to get hit for this because I forgot who else is going to be. But I name it from my WWE past. He's going to be there. It's supposed to be a good show. Check out these local shows. I mean, that's one of the more expensive shows, but he always brings a headliner, a superstar.
All right, talking about wrestling, there's a former wrestler who's a big-time actor now coming out in a new movie. Joey was informing me earlier as we were arriving, and that's The Rock. He's in another movie now. What movie is he in now?
Black Adam.
That's going to come out, Black Adam. Awesome. Now, I was watching recently on YouTube. I end up watching a lot of old wrestling matches from past. on YouTube and also some independent wrestling shows on YouTube. And I was watching, I don't know, I think Joey will remember, and you remember The Rock doing The Rock show on WWE program. I forgot if it was Raw or SmackDown. And he has, my opinion, besides acting and wrestling, he's talented in singing. My opinion.
Oh yeah, he did one. He did like a fake rock concert in Cleveland once. It was pretty funny. It was a funny skit. That's available on YouTube, which I've watched recently.
As a matter of fact, he did a Disney movie where he sang too.
Oh really? I never knew that, Joe.
Moana.
Okay.
The character he played sings, and he was singing.
Now I'd like to see The Rock come back for an interview or promo.
Promo-wise, I don't think his agent will let him wrestle anymore because of the injury he sustained last match.
Because it's going to be nice seeing DX return. And I'd like to see The Rock return in the promo. I know he bought the XFL. So it'll be interesting, too, to see how that football league survives or not after a season.
I'd like to change subject just for a moment.
Okay.
Totally off the wrestling subject for a second. I didn't mention it last show. I did mention it the show before. Our local mayor, I would like to congratulate our local mayor, Paul Haru, on winning the primary now. Just the primary. Running for sheriff. Congratulations, Paul. Good luck in your quest to become Bristol County Sheriff against Sheriff Hodgkins. Again, I've known Paul for many, many years, so I wish him well. I don't want to say it to people, but maybe it's none of their business, but I know who I'm voting for. Okay?
No, I think it's going to be hard for him for this challenge. I think this is going to be his toughest challenge.
25-year incumbent Tom Hodgkins has been around for many years, very well respected. I've spoken to Tom Hodgkins personally a few times. I have nothing against him. It's time for a change. You need someone, you need new blood, and you need someone. And Paul is definitely smart enough to become sheriff. Yeah. He's done well for Attleboro. He's done well as a rep in the area.
Around this area, Attleboro, North Attleboro, Norton, I've seen a lot of signs for both men. So I think it's going to be
local kid race. Too on Big Brother came in 4th on Big Brother. His name is Turner. Last name is Turner. Owns a rug shop in Bridgewater. Who was on the show Big Brother. He came in 4th. He was born in North Attleboro. Wow. He lives in New Bedford now, but he has a shop in Bridgewater. It was good watching every week, watching a local guy try to make it. I also want to wish my own hometown of North Weymouth a happy 400th birthday. They celebrated their 400th year. I was at that celebration a couple weeks ago. Had fun there doing trolleys. Seeing my old hometown, where I grew up. I want to thank the LWACS, Steve for having us,
no problem.
Emily for her input, Joey for doing his part over here with his lists. I want to thank our director for directing us. I want to thank Overeaters Anonymous for taking care of Steve. And thank you all.
I'm hungry. See ya.